Happy Friday, peaceful pinners. So we're doing finishing Friday today. I'm cleaning my glasses really quick because I just realized they are filthy and I can't see. So I've got a little stack of ornaments here to just do some embellishments on. Ugh, I can't get my glasses clean, you guys. I'm trying to look at the comments. I see them, but I can't. I think I see Phil. Hi, Phil. Hey, Carmen. Hi, Beth. Hi, Linda. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Louise. Hi, Tia Maria. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Kathy. Happy Friday. Hi, Kat. Rebecca said hello, everyone. Kathy said hello, everyone. It's finishing Friday. And I've got this one that we made together a week or two ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. I'm going to start with that one. That was a nice, easy one to finish. We've got red sequins that we need. Oh, look, I don't have very many red sequins left. And I need some green crystals. Where are they? Where are my green crystals? I probably should have dug some of these things out before I hit go live, right? And we need sequin pins. Hi, Kathy. I may have said hi to you already, but hi again. Hi, Nancy. Linda said, good evening, everyone. Hey, Robin with a Y. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Robin with an I, otherwise known as Robbie. I hope you guys have all had a good Friday, a good end to the week. Okay. I'm glad comments seem to be working again. Or still. And then I did the little sequins on the flowers. Debbie said, watch the short video on all the OGs ornaments made by members. Way to go, OGs. I'm glad you liked it, Debbie. We just started doing that, I think, a few months ago. I hear walking. Sorry, guys, I hear walking at my... I don't see anyone. That was weird. I feel like I heard footsteps outside my window. We've had a gloomy, rainy day for the most part today. Hi, Julie. Hi, Zora. Hi, Christy. Christy said, hello. Oh, I have a few ornaments to try and finish with my 1.5 hands. I hope it goes well. Kat said, so far yesterday and today I have finished 4 February angels, 1 Cupid angel, and 2 February shamrock ornaments. Woohoo, taking a break to watch Peaceful Pinning. Kat, that's a lot of ornamenting. How do your fingers feel? That's a lot. Sherry said, I missed the live yesterday, but I did watch the replay. I'm glad the issue with the comments was resolved. Me too. Thank you for watching the replay. And yeah, I'm glad too. I was still a little nervous today, even though yesterday it worked fine. Hi, Elizabeth. Oops, I skipped a few. Sorry, guys. Hey, CJ. CJ, I sent you some fabric today. Robin said, me too, Sherry. Debbie, I keep skipping a few, guys. I'm so sorry. Debbie said, looks like we're all good today. Sound in all comments. What a relief. And Robin said, me too, Sherry. Kat said, loved the short of you showing members ornaments. That was so cool, and they were all so beautiful. I'm glad you liked it. It seems like that's going over pretty good, doing those shorts like that. Sarah's been gathering them up each month. There's a post in the Ornament Girls Facebook group where people can submit their pictures. We don't want to post them unless, you know, people say that it's okay to do so, but there's a post in the Facebook group that she's been doing for people to post their ornaments if they want to be included in the video. Elizabeth said, hi, ladies. Robbie said, I'm working on some unfinished ornaments as well. Awesome. This is a good time to force yourself to finish ornaments. We know how it is. We all do it. We all set our piles aside and we say we're going to get back to it. And then it could be something as simple as this, you guys. Look, I mean, that took me, what, 2 minutes? Now I can finally say that this is done and I can take it out of the UFO basket. So, look, this is another one that we did together last week. And all I need to do is add some gold beads on it. This is definitely one I want to take pictures of and add to inspire. Gold. Gold pins. Oh, there they are. Becky said, hey y'all from Missouri, not Texas. Sherry said, is the gold fabric from yesterday the same fabric as the silver on the cutie pie ornament? That's a good question. No, it is not. The one on the cutie pie ornament is the stuff, the evil stuff. And that's the one I was talking about yesterday. It's even stiffer. The gold fabric we used yesterday was the, oh gosh, did I already lose the name? Gold Rush from Benartex. And it also is a little bit stiff, but it is not even close to being as stiff as the stuff. Kat said, oh, well, let me back up. Debbie said, CJ, how are you today? Kat said, fingers are fine, praise God. I'm glad. That's a lot of ornaments. Peggy said, hey everyone. CJ said, OMG, that's awesome. Hi, Brian. Hi, Dee. Nope. There's 2 of you that have the weird usernames. And yes, that's you, Dee, right? I haven't written yours down yet. I wrote down the other one who is Denise. I gotta write you down, D. You're DS6. Where's my pen? Get my little list here. DS6 is D. I don't know why yours is having a hard time sticking in my brain. Your username. Debbie said, oh, Barb said, hello, everyone. Hi, Barb. Guess what? I see Debbie asking, is Georgianne back in Among Us yet? I forgot to change the live chat, so I'm going to do that right now. I don't see Georgianne, though. She might still be on her cruise. She's on her birthday cruise. Julie said, I really challenged myself. I had pieces of fabric cut I wanted to use and not cut anymore. I did infinity with those pieces, had to get creative, but it worked. That's awesome. That's such a good idea, because otherwise that's like the same as these UFOs. The piles of scraps and stuff just pile up, right? Okay, I had these at the tips of the maroon fabric. Hi, Jean. Becky said the second one is gorgeous. Stacy, what is that? This one here is the Victoria pattern, and we did it live, oh gosh, was it last week or maybe the end of the week before? Julie said, that's beautiful. Thank you, Julie. Kat said, Julie, that sounds awesome. CJ said, Debbie, tired, bad night of sleep, but I'm vegging and chilling. I'm sorry to hear that, CJ. Hopefully you'll get some rest over the weekend. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm going to try to have a nice, relaxing weekend. Tomorrow I'm hoping to be out in the yard. But I don't have too much to do out there, so it'll be a chill gardening day, which will be nice. And then Sunday, I'm gonna just do whatever the heck I want all day, which is hopefully not much. Kathy said, yes, I agree. The ornaments are so beautiful. I also like the fussy cut video. I'm so glad to hear that, Kathy. Darlene's method for the fussy cuts is just, it was so simple and it seems so obvious, but I mean, I had never tried tracing paper for it. I've used those little like quilting acrylic things before, but I only have, let's see, I think we have like a 4-inch one. I don't know. I just like the idea of being able to customize it. Although I think it'd be really cool if we came out with like permanent acrylic ones for fussy cuts, OG ones. Linda said, what pattern is that? This is the Victoria pattern. CJ said, that ornament is pretty. Thank you. You guys remember we made it a week or two ago when we did the Victoria pattern? So if you go back on the live streams, you'll see it. I haven't taken it down or anything. Becky said, from Mississippi on the road. Oh, did I say Missouri? I think I might have said Missouri, which is M-O, not M-S. Sorry. From Mississippi on the road to Virginia. Hi, Tammy. Debbie said, CJ, get your chillaxing time and relax when you can. 100%. Tammy said, I posted a picture of my Guggenheim scissors and a video of the ones that I use the most, cutting through 8 layers of quilter's cotton. Oh, on the OG group, Tammy? I didn't see it. I will go look for that after this. Thank you for posting that. I can't wait to see. This one's done. Ready for some pictures. Okay. So guys, we also did this one a few weeks ago, but I never finished the bow. This is the Galaxy pattern. Sherry said, I love this pattern and the fabric. Thanks, Sherry. I know you were talking about the Victoria that I was just holding. Thank you. Hey, Patty. Hey, Carol. Carol said, hi, everyone. How quickly the weeks fly by. I know. You guys, today is like, what number did I put on here? 73, I think. The 73rd live stream, which is crazy. CJ said, I have to make the Victoria pattern. You do. CJ, it's not hard. It's a pretty easy one. Kathy said, I have all the fabric cut for the Victoria pattern, going to make it tomorrow. That's awesome. Let us know how it goes. Christy said, I've slept great since I had the surgery Wednesday. No more laying awake until 4 a.m. and then giving up and getting up for the day. Because of pain relief, Christy, since you had the surgery? That's awesome. Robbie said that would be a great idea. Kat said, I'm so bad at gardening. I once planted silk flowers just to have color. It worked out. People thought they were real until they bent over to touch them. Linda said, I finished my Easter blossom today and I posted on Facebook. Oh, awesome. Yes, I have the Easter blossom here. I wrote down yesterday when you suggested it. That's great. So how did you get those last layers? I know you were saying you were having trouble with the outer layer. Tammy said, I need to go and watch that video. I got sidetracked when I went looking for it. It's back like 2 weeks maybe. I don't remember exactly when we did it. CJ said, that is good to hear, Christy. Debbie said, Christy, glad you're here to hear you're doing much better since the surgery and getting rest. Patty said, I like the 3 fabrics on the Victoria. They work so well together. It rolled away from me. But yeah, so this is actually 4 fabrics. There's the blue underneath, that blueprint, and then there's the smaller floral, but these two do match. They're the same line, smaller floral, and then the larger floral on the outer layer and the band. And then, of course, the maroon or burgundy in the middle. And actually, I think they are all 4 from the same line. Was it Essex? I think it was called Essex, and it was Timeless Treasures. I do remember it was Timeless Treasures. Sally said, hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late. We haven't been on very long. I'm just finishing some ornaments today. I have to pick some ribbon for this one. So I have this, which is a little wide. Every once in a while, I'll use a wider one. I don't always prefer it, but if it's a sheer ribbon, I feel like you can get away with it a little bit more. And then let's see. We could mix it with a thinner blue to kind of balance the wider, and then maybe a silver. I don't really have a light, do I? What would be really nice is if I had like a light blue like this. I think I do, you guys. What color is this? Look at that. Light blue. I still feel like I need like a medium size, like a 3/8 inch or a 1/4 inch. So maybe I'll mix in some silver. I don't really like that. I kind of don't want to go heavy on silver because there's no silver fabric. There's just a little bit of silver flecks in there. For some reason, I knew this one was going to be hard to bow. I'm not liking silver, you guys. Let me catch up on some comments really quick. Tammy said, you're welcome. I don't have my table cleared off to show my rotary blades right now. I usually do that either Saturday or Sunday morning. That's okay. I'm excited just to see the scissors. CJ said, Debbie, I do try. My sleep is so messed up since I retired. Kat said, I once had a plastic fern with little flowers in it, and a friend said, wow, you got something to grow. Hubby said, no, it's plastic. Friend said, well, at least she won't kill it. And hubby said, give her time. That's pretty bad if you're killing a plastic plant. Hey, Suzanne. Robin said, I just finished the Galaxy kit last night, and it was fairly easy. That one is an easier one for sure. It looks more complicated than it actually is. I'm glad that you didn't find it difficult. CJ said, that's the flurry pattern, right? It's one of my favorites. This is actually Galaxy, CJ, but we did a flurry in these exact fabrics, which is probably why your brain went there. I love flurry too, though. Christy said, no, I think my sleep problem is my brain not turning off when I tell it to. My sister says it's because I'm old. I have that problem too with my brain, like just wanting to, I will be okay falling asleep, but then I wake up in like the middle of the night, like 2, 3 o'clock, and my brain will be going. Kathy said we all have silk flowers in Arizona because nothing grows in the summer. Becky said 63. Oh, did I put 63? Because I'm pretty sure it's 73. I might have to go back and fix that. Jeanette said, hi, I can't stay long, but wanted to say hello. Hi, Jeanette. Georgianne is here. We were just talking about you, Georgianne. So are you back from your cruise? CJ said, I do not craft in the evening because I find myself thinking of ways to do something on the project. And yeah, then you're not sleeping at all, right? Sharon said, hello from Vegas. Glad to have caught up to caught, oh, it jumped on me. It jumped on me. Have caught the live. Whoops. Okay, let me figure out what I'm doing with this. We'll start with those 3. I might like have to forego the silver because I don't know that I'm liking silver. There's enough silver in the ribbons, and maybe just the thin and the wide will work okay because they'll balance each other. We'll give it a shot. What I do think I'm gonna have to do is maybe add a couple extra pieces of the thinner ones. To help fill it out a little bit because they're so thin. Let's see what that bow will look like. I have to back up. I'm so behind, guys. Robin said, hi, Jeanette. Robbie said light blue organza. Yeah, I agree. I don't think I have one. I don't think I have a light blue. I don't know how it's possible I don't have one with all this ribbon that I have. The only light blue that I have is like the light blue here, and I've got one that's more in like a turquoise shade, and it's not organza either, but like I have some that are going in like turquoise and robin's egg blue kind of shades, which is not right. This is this blue here, which might actually be hard for you guys to see on camera, but it's a really light blue and it's like a perfect match. The silver is just too much, I think. This is why we're doing Finishing Fridays, right? Because I was procrastinating putting a bow on this for this exact reason. Because these colors are difficult. Becky said, hey, Georgianne. Debbie said, Jeanette, glad that you're here with us for any amount of time. I concur. This week went by fast, you guys, didn't it? I think this will be a beefy enough bow. By the time I put 3 layers on and I add a couple more layers with the wide in there, I think it'll be okay. Definitely pretty colors. Nancy said, CJ, I worked 3rd shift. When I retired, sleeping normally was a chore. I was so used to sleeping during the day. I bet that was a lot to get used to. I mean, are you even used to it at all? That seems like it would be a really hard thing to get out of the habit of. Christy, I see that you said something, but it says it's retracted. I think something is, I think 3 layers of this will be really pretty. One layer is weird. 3 layers I think is gonna look okay. So we need a 6.5. And a 6. Two 6.5s of this one. 2 6s. Almost there. CJ said, I can't even shift in my recliner because I go to sleep for sure. Whoops. Six and a half. Okay. Suzanne said ribbon choice. Good and fourth, look for a sheer white maybe. Yeah, sheer white would be probably the next best option for if we needed to add another color. But I actually am thinking that I'm going to be okay with these. This light blue is almost into the white. It's just got that littlest bit of blue, which is perfect for that. I think if the rhinestones were more silver, because remember you guys when we did this one, I think we actually did the rhinestones on another Finish Friday, but I didn't finish the bow. So this one's made an appearance in 2 Finishing Fridays. But if we didn't go silver, we went with this like AB sequin. I think if they had been silver, then maybe more silver in the bow would have been okay. But I felt like when I held the silver up to the fabric and stuff, it just looked like it was too off. I like the silver lining on these ribbons. I think that's fine because it's more of an accent, but just the straight silver didn't look right to me. Christy said, CJ, yes, I think retirement messed me up too. Not enough to make me want to go back to work though. I am so behind. And it jumped on me, so I'm scrolling back up to wherever I left off at. CJ said, that's what I thought. That's why I thought it was the flurry. Those fabrics are gorgeous. So you guys, these fabrics, I didn't think about this before. I just remembered. These fabrics are also from the Moda Forest Frost line, which is the same line that the Cardinals are from that we were playing with at the end of last week, that we had that bundle for. They are all from that same line, but different like renditions of it, because they reran Forest Frost a couple of times in a couple of different ways a few years back. And yeah, it was always, Forest Frost was always one of my absolute favorite lines that Moda did. I wish they would do some more glitter and metallics. They did the, was it Sparkle and Shine? Was that the name of the line? I think so. They ended up doing the Sparkle and Shine line after Forest Frost, which also was glittery, and it was a beautiful glitter too. It was more traditional colors like red, green, gold, but it was, the glitter in it was almost like a mixture of silver and gold together, and it was just beautiful. When they do glitter lines, man, they really know how to do it. They just hardly ever do. So I keep hoping that they're going to do some more. And I should probably save my money because if they do again, I'm going to want to buy a ton of it. I liked the Sparkle and Shine so much, in fact, and I think I told you guys this, but I went back and I bought like all that they had left of the red and cream in the warehouse at the time, which was, I think, 100 and some bolts or 100 and some yards or 200 yards maybe, because it was so perfect for like a tonal to mix into kits, some of our Christmas Club and VIP kits. This bow has taken me as long as like a whole ornament, you guys. Debbie said, CJ, you crack me up. We all go to sleep when we get into our recliner. CJ said, I haven't had a chance to get the galaxy pattern yet. CJ, aren't you in the digital club? That was the October 2025 pattern, was galaxy. Or are you Christmas club? I'm sorry that I can't remember right now. Linda said you put 73. Okay, good. Thank you. I'm glad I don't have to go back and fix it. I was just the last couple of days when I saw that we were in the 70s, I was like, whoa, that's amazing. We're going to be at 100 soon. Debbie said, Georgianne, we missed you. Georgianne said, yes, I had a wonderful time. My cousin spoiled me. That's so awesome, Georgianne. Becky said, sorry, when did you do the Victoria Star? When you did the Victoria... Are you asking when did I do the Victoria? Oh gosh, that's a very good question. Maybe 2 weeks ago? Something like that. If you scroll back through the Peaceful Pinning Live playlist on the channel, I'm pretty sure I put the name of the pattern in the title. So hopefully you'll be able to find it that way. Hi, Dana. Dana said, happy Friday, folks. CJ said, Christy, you got that right. I can nap during the day. Robin said, CJ, I'm sure you meant sit. I probably read it wrong, too. Tammy said, what if you made the fireworks bow with the thinner ribbon? That would work too, Tammy. I'm sorry that I'm so behind in comments that I didn't see that until now when I'm already done. That would have totally worked. The fireworks bow is perfect for the thinner ribbons, and I didn't even think of that. But you know what? This came out cute. I'm pretty happy with this. And I was kind of torn between, I was thinking about the hanger. The thin ribbon would really work well for the hanger. Or I could do I actually think I do want to add the silver metallic string for the hanger for this one. Yeah, I like that. This is the right touch of silver for me. And I want to use, let's see, either the same crystals or even maybe an AB, well, either the same rhinestones or an AB crystal, possibly. Make it a little extra blingy on the hanger. This one took a million years to finish. I remember telling you guys when we were finishing this a couple of weeks ago, when we were embellishing it, that it had been sitting around for a long, long time. It was one of my prototypes, which is why the two sides look a little different from each other. I was still playing with getting the measurements right. And so this guy has been like hanging around for years and years. Like since, gosh, I want to say that I was doing this one in like 2017, 2018. Finally, it's going to be able to hang somewhere, which is great. I almost feel like I could have added in a little bit more of the thicker ribbon in here. But it's cute. I'm happy with it. All right. This one was a win for sure. Let me scroll up. Debbie said, Georgianne, you missed a good one the other night. YouTube was having issues on our live here, and all of it any of us could do was send emojis. You guys, I can see now that I am only just now catching up to the ribbon choices time, which was 10 minutes ago. I'm so sorry. Peggy had said, what about a white? Maybe even the snowflake. Yeah, Peggy, that one would have worked, I bet. That one would have worked. Why didn't I think of that? That's the go-to. Robin keeps saying, I think Robin keeps having misspellings about CJ. Thank you for the hearts, guys. Sharon said, I love your ribbon choices. Looks great to me. Hey, Shirley. Elizabeth said, looks beautiful. Okay, we're going to go in a whole different direction now, guys, and finish this one. Charming Tale says, happy Friday, watching periodically, embroidering lots of Easter Bunny orders, name and year on the ears. That sounds cute. And also, welcome, because I don't know if you've chatted here before. Deborah said, hi, Stacy and everyone, happy Friday. Kat said, that looks really good, I'm loving it. Thank you, Kat. CJ said, Robin, I have no idea what I meant to say. Robbie said, finishing my buck and doe, have 2 sets. Suzanne is waiting on me to do that one. I need to get to that one. Nancy said, I've been retired for 5 years now. I still fall into that old routine once in a while. It did take a while to get out of it, though. Julie said, I just took pictures and shared on the Facebook page along with the Lucky Star and the spring leaf with the St. Patrick's Day fabrics. Oh, I'll go take a look at that. The spring leaf is a really pretty one for mixing and matching different fabrics. And I don't think I've ever seen one of those with St. Patty's fabric before. Debbie said, love the ribbon colors on this ornament. Oh, you guys, I'm way behind, aren't I? Yes, Sharon said you could also use the thin blue or the light blue ribbon for a hanger. I was considering that. I was kind of in my brain. I was like, the thin blue ribbon or the metallic string. CJ said, I just figured out what you were saying, Robin. I'm on my iPad. Doesn't like fat, short fingers. Hi, Tony. Kat said, by the way, Stacy, I was able to find a yard of that lipstick red fabric, so I can now do the January angel. I also saw some charms on a site that were similar enough, but haven't ordered them yet, but will. Okay, awesome. That's good. That is very good. Exciting. Dawn said, hi, everyone from Illinois. Nice to have you here, Dawn. Julie said, I love what you did with the embellishments on the blue one. Thank you. So those were these little AB rhinestones. And yeah, they're super sparkly. When I was doing this one, I think I was kind of between doing silver or these. And the silver was like, again, I felt like it was going to be overpowering. And which is why I ended up doing the sequins, the AB sequins instead. And I do think it was the right choice with that. That's a busy ornament, you know? So it's like you kind of want to not overpower it. Tammy said, I gave it and I bought the Easter blossom and the woodland window patterns yesterday. Yay for overtime in my check. I deserved a treat. Tammy, thank you so much. I hope you love making them. The woodland window is one that I want to revisit soon. I feel like that's one of those ones where it's like, I don't know, we don't see it very often, but it's a winner. When you make it, you're going to enjoy that one. And we were talking about snow globes yesterday. That's the perfect one for all these different snow globe fabrics that we've been talking about lately. Chris said, I'm ashamed to say that I have this pattern and I haven't tried it. Well, don't be ashamed about that, Chris. Hopefully you will soon, though. Tony said, I watched Kennedy's video on fussy cutting. So glad since I got my cardinal fabric this week. Perfect timing. Deborah said, will you open the regular club soon? Deborah, we are opening the regular club for digital members in just a couple weeks, I believe. I think it's March. So actually not even a couple weeks. It's less than 2 weeks away. I think we're opening it somewhere around March 9th or 10th. I'm not opening VIP. I'm hoping to be able to open VIP in the fall. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. But digital will be open in just a week and a half or so. Robin said, CG, I have the same problem. I will catch back up in a minute, you guys, even though I know I'm way behind. But I should probably start doing some ribbon here. Oh, and I had run down and grabbed some charms because we have, where are they? Where are they? I threw them in this basket. Of course they fell down in. Here they are. I had ran down and got some pink ribbon charms to put on here. And I'll use silver for this. Okay, you guys, the pink is up really high on my ribbon cart. You guys can't see. I don't think you guys can see my ribbon cart. I was telling you the other day that I did finally finish putting away my ribbon. Here, I'm going to change cameras for 1 second so you guys can see how full my cart is now. Look at this. Look at all this. You would think I would have had every shade of blue on here, right? But my pink is all the way at the tippy top, so I have to stand up to get to that. And I gotta take this and hold it up here for a second. I've got a couple of pretty pinks here, and I think I want to do a mixture of like light and darker pink. Like maybe that. And no, that's too dark. Maybe just those two. Maybe we'll just mix up these. I do have like plain pink I could add in, just some plain old satin. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll mix that in. Sally said, funny that you mentioned falling asleep in a recliner. I just woke up from a nap in a recliner. CJ said, I'm in the Christmas club only. Okay. I gotcha. Becky said, I'm sorry, Stacy. I'm struggling with my words. I'm tired from driving. Well, don't be sorry, Becky. Becky said, I was trying to say the Victoria Star was peaceful pinning number 63. Oh, my bad. Thank you, Becky. Here you were solving the problem of when we did that. I just read you wrong. Okay, so that Victoria, guys, where we did this one was Peaceful Pinning 63. And Becky, thank you so much. Deborah said, so pretty. Tammy said, I think February 11th was the Victoria pattern. That was the day I posted the Hobby Lobby fabric with the gold running through it. And I think the fabric that you were using is what reminded me of it. You have a good memory, Tammy. So now we know it's February 11th and number 63. For anybody who wants to go back and see that one. It's a good way to see if you're interested in that pattern, because that pattern is actually a paid pattern. It's usually not a freebie. But we did it for Peaceful Pinning. Which, you know, I'm doing some paid patterns every so often, but not every day. So it's a good one. Deborah said, or I think I already read Deborah's comment, so pretty. Dawn said, I'm new to this. Curious what size of those beads. Hang on and I can look again. I know I'm way behind. So you were talking about the Galaxy, right? Dawn. Oh, Dawn said, letting you know I'm deaf on this. Please type it in. So maybe somebody can help me out with that for Dawn. So I think that Dawn is talking about these. And oh my goodness. What size are these? They're so itty bitty. They're only a millimeter or two. Maybe somebody can help me out by typing that into the chat for Dawn. And my phone is going crazy all of a sudden. So sorry for all the dings. Tammy said it turned out pretty. Brian said, "Nice ornament, Stacy. I did not see you make it. Did you use prism folds? I like how you mixed thick ribbon with thin ribbon for the bow." Thank you, Brian. So, yeah, this is a mixture of prism folds. The center layer is prism folds. It's really similar to the pinwheel, and I know that you just made that one recently. And then there's triangles here, and then it's prism folds through the rest. So it's got a lot of similarity to pinwheel, except for that it has a more pronounced star in the center. Dawn said all those ornaments that made so already are so beautiful. I know you can't hear me, but thank you, Dawn. Debbie said, "Don't forget to give Stacy a thumbs up." Thank you, Debbie. You guys, thank you again for that. Thank you as always for that, I should say. Trying to do this all together. Sometimes it doesn't work out so well. Suzanne said, "Bow came out beautiful." Yes, on the deer. And what line are the two pink fabrics in this hope ornament? Okay, so these two are they're both timeless treasures. Oh, what are they called? It's one of their basics. Why is it slipping my mind right now? Something Hatch. It's hat. Maybe it's just Hatch, but they are basics. Now, they're always changing the shades that are available. I don't know that the same exact shades are necessarily still available. We had gotten these a long time ago, but they always have different shades. And I'm going to go ahead and attach my charm up underneath of the bow. Betty said, "I like this pink one." Thank you, Betty. Tammy said, "I bought some more of the buck fabric to make the woodland window, and I bought the 2 new fabric packs." Awesome, Tammy. I'm so happy to hear that. We only have like 50 each of those 2 new fabric packs. I made the one last night for you guys, and I'm hoping to do Sleepy Fox on Monday. That's what I'm planning on, because I really want to make one of him too. I kind of want to do like a matching set of those 2. Nancy said, "CJ, I had a good chuckle when I read your comment about your recliner. Thank you." Charming Tale said, "I'm Christina. I am on my phone. Can't find where to change my handle name." Well, you know what? I'm going to write that down so I'll remember. That way, if you can't change it, that's okay. I got my list here so I can try to remember people's real names. Thank you for telling me. Kat said, "Thumbed up and shared." Thank you, Kat. Deborah said, "Oops, it skipped on me. It skipped on me." It's trying to make me catch up. YouTube is like, catch up on these comments. Deborah said, "That sounds good. I'll be checking to join the digital." Awesome. I'm going to send out an email a couple of days ahead of time. And then, of course, I'll send out another email at the time that it opens. And it'll probably be open like sometime around the 10th. and it'll be open for like 2 or 3 days, or maybe the 9th, and it'll be open for about 2 or 3 days. I would love to see you guys in the club with us, those of you who are not already in one of our clubs. Robbie said, oh, wow. Tony said, I love those charms. I bought some too. The pink ribbon, they are pretty, right? They are very blingy. CJ should like those. Yeah, Barb said, wow, that's a lot of ribbon. I know. It's so much. It's like 20 years of collecting ribbon, you guys. And for a while, like when the business started getting bigger, I started having to buy ribbon in bulk, you know, for the kits and stuff. So I was using less and less of my stash ribbons because I was, you know, some things I bought at this like Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, whatever, and I couldn't get more of that ribbon enough for a kit. So I kind of, this got put away up until recently when I dug it all back out of the shop and started trying to set up my own little craft room up here in my house. It's nice to see some of it again, I have to say. That looks good. That ended up coming out pretty nice. So we need to do a hanger, which I think we'll go with white. I think white would look pretty, and maybe we'll use our go-to and do an AB crystal. Yeah, I think that'll look really good. Oh, I'm off camera just a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. Tamara said, I love the organza for that one. It's pretty, right? I don't know where that one came from. Probably a Michael's or something like that. Oh, Christina. Okay, I wrote down your other name, but okay, awesome. Tammy said, yeah, add the satin pink. I'm glad I did before I saw your comments. Jeanette said, I love your ribbon cart. Thank you. So it's like a gift wrapping cart. It's for gift wrap, but when I saw it, I was like, that's the perfect one. And I don't think you guys could see it in the camera, but the bottom, and I think I've told you this before, but the bottom is where you can like stick rolls of wrapping paper and stuff, but I've got it full of foam. So it's a pretty nice size basket down there. It's perfect for holding my foam. Robbie said you can never have too much ribbon, beads, fabric, yarn, etc. I know. Since I've been getting into beading again, I'm trying to figure out how I can incorporate all my bead storage into what I got going on too, which is a thing, you guys. I'm like, what am I going to do? Zora said, good choice. Thank you. This is cute. I like this. All right, there's another one. Shall we do one more, guys? I am thinking, I've got a few here, but I'm wondering which one I should actually mess with. Do you remember a few weeks ago we did the Scrappy Basic Star? Maybe we'll finish this one up. Shirley said, I want to join the digital again. I sure hope to see you again, Shirley. That would be awesome. CJ said, love you all lots. Gotta leave for dinner. Well, you're probably already gone by now because you probably wrote that 25 minutes ago, but I hope you have a good dinner, CJ. Jeanette said, I agree, Robin. Kat said, have a wonderful dinner. We'll catch you later. Robbie said, love you too. You guys are so awesome. Tony said, thumbs up. Beth said that pattern was Peaceful Pinning 62, 63 was the Angels. Okay, so it's around there. We're getting closer. Tammy said, I know the fabric was for breast cancer, but that fabric always reminds me of my oldest daughter. Her name was Hope. She was a preemie and didn't make it long. Oh gosh, Tammy. I'm so sorry. That ornament is so pretty. Wow, that's hard. Georgianne said, Dawn, Stacy said the beads were like a millimeter. Thank you guys. Georgianne, thank you so much for posting that. Robbie said, would they be seed beads? They aren't quite seed beads. So it's like really hard when I get so behind in the comments because then I'm not sure exactly what we're talking about. If you're talking about these, they probably are almost the size of seed beads, maybe just a teeny little bit bigger. Christy said, the Ornament Girl, is it possible for you to turn on closed captions for Dawn on these lives? I checked and it's not an option to turn it on. You know what, Christy, I think I can, they don't come on until after the fact. I will look in my settings tomorrow before I start, but I don't know if they can do it in the moment. It might be something that we have to do after the fact, but I don't know that 100%. I could be completely wrong, so I will check. And Nancy had posted about the beads looking to be 2 to 3 millimeter. Robbie said, can you get them that small? Well, I know that these are 5 millimeters, these crystals. And so with these being 5, I mean, maybe they're 3. Maybe those little sequins were 3. I'm taking a wild guess here. Thatched by Timeless Treasures. Thank you, Phil. You guys are so awesome about helping me out with the answers to these questions. So this is the thatched. Suzanne said Stacy may want to turn on the CC for Dawn and then she'll be able to read the screen and know what you're saying. I cannot change my settings now that I'm already live, I don't believe, but I will look into that and see if I can do that for future ones. Shirley said, did you ever get the little round tins in the shop? I couldn't find them. No, they're not in the shop yet, but I did just bring a big pile of them up here tonight so that I could do the photography, and also because I want to use some. I've got a whole bucket of them here. So this is what I'm working with. We've got boxes and boxes of these down there. So hopefully soon. You guys, I recently, just this week, I have this, there's a guy that's been kind of doing some stuff around my house, and he saw my table in here, which is full of all these little bowls and tins of stuff, and I'm like running out of space to work. And he's like, what if we put up a board on the side like what we have down in the shop that's magnetic? And I wish I could show you. I wonder if I could, I wonder if I can show you. Maybe I'll take a picture and show you. That's what I'll do. Move my coffee out of the way. So we have this magnetic board up here. Move my stuff. I've only started with just a couple, but this is the side of my table. And are you guys able to see that okay? So this magnetic board is now lining the side of my table, and it's magnetic on both sides. And so I'm gluing little magnets to the back of them, and I'm gonna have them stuck up here beside me so that I can see them, but they're off my table and out of my way. That's the goal. I might work on that on Sunday. That might be a fun Sunday project. Kat said, Tammy, I'm so sorry for your loss. I pray for you and for Hope. I feel she has a beautiful soul. We will always remember Hope. Kat, that is a really sweet thing to say. I concur, Tammy. Gretchen said, my sister is going through breast cancer treatment right now. Well, we will all send our prayers to your sister, Gretchen. Oh, Suzanne, your comment just disappeared. I was about to read it and it disappeared. Robbie said, digital is where I started. Didn't get into the club for a while. Digital is, you don't get a kit, and I know that can be a thing because a lot of people want to get the kit, but digital is such a great way to use your own fabrics. And when you're in the club, and some of you guys are in whatever like other variations of the club, so you're in the OG Facebook group, people are constantly posting in the Facebook group their versions of whatever that month's pattern is, and it is such a great way to see each pattern done in different colors for different holidays, different styles, themes, whatever. It can really get your brain going. And I know a lot of you guys have tons of fabric, just like me, and it's such a good way to use up your fabric and your scraps. So a lot of you guys are quilters and sewers, so it's a really, really good idea, a good way to use up those little pieces of fabric. Marge said, hi, I'm here just in time to say bye. Almost, Marge. We've been slowly just getting through finishing some ornaments. I've only finished 4. I think we got 1 more to go here, and then we'll call it a night. I don't remember exactly when I got on, but I've been a little slow tonight, you guys, which seems to be the case with these finishing Fridays. I'm going to find some colors that match this. This was my hodgepodge ornament. This was another peaceful pinning when we did a Scrappy day. You guys remember? So this is scarlet with the gold edge. And then we also have Christmas red with the gold edge, which I think might be the right choice. They are pretty close, but you can see that the scarlet's just slightly more dark. Got a little bit more of the wine color in it. I think that this is the one though, so we'll do that. And we'll do the gold, and then we need a green. I like it. We're going to do what we can for this poor guy. He was the scrappy one. He was the hodgepodge of unmatching fabrics. That didn't turn out so bad in the end. You know what I feel like this one needs? This one needs a jingle bell. We're going to add a jingle bell to this one. Oh, I am back behind again. Gretchen said, anyone else get the fabric bundles from today? I got the one from yesterday. That's awesome, Gretchen. Thank you. I don't know if they're gone yet. I haven't looked. We had about 50 of each one of those. So we don't have very many. I'm thinking they won't last through the weekend if there is still some left now. But I haven't shown you guys one with the Sleepy Fox yet. So that one will be Monday. I'm excited for that one. Deborah said, I don't get as, I think you meant I don't get as excited. I don't as excited to get the Sleeping Fox. I'm not sure what you're saying, Deborah. I'm sorry. Well, both of them, beautiful fabric. I don't know what you're saying. I'm so sorry. But thank you about the fabric. Peggy said, Tammy, I'm so sorry. My daughter was only 6 days old when she died. Losing a child is a club that no one wants to be in, and sending a virtual hug. Peggy, I'm so sorry for your loss too. My goodness. Robin said, yes, I remember. Yeah, we did the basic star, like a lesson that day. Deborah said, I have that ribbon organizer in my wish list Amazon cart. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. Oh, let me get a jingle bell. This one is going to be bright. So you know what? We're just going to play it up. We're going to play up the bright. We're going to go for, do I want red or do I want green? Red or green, you guys? Which means I'm going to have to scroll down in the comments. You know what? Never mind about red, because look, I've only got one red and it doesn't have a jingle. So it looks like it's going to be green. So never mind about that vote. That's okay. Green is pretty too. And we'll do a gold chain for this one. Jean said thumbs up. And Suzanne said, sorry, I didn't see Christy's comment. Christina said seed beads generally come in 15, 11, and 8, with 15 being the smallest and 8 the largest. These aren't quite seed beads size. Oh, I'm going to stick this underneath of my bow. I'm actually going to come down a couple of jump rings because I don't want it to hang quite so low. And then I'm just going to loop back through the last one so it's not hanging down. But if you ever want to make your jump ring a little bit, or your jump rings chain a little bit shorter, I went through the third one and then I went back through the first one to keep it from hanging down. And that'll give you a little bit of a shorter dangle. So you can totally adjust that. This one is giving me like a whole carnival vibe. Phil said, found this, I hope it helps. Creators can enable automatic captions, English only, in the stream settings. I don't think I can edit it now because we started. I don't even have, let's see. Oh, will it let me? It won't. Okay, I see the toggle. I see the closed captions toggle. But it won't let me toggle it right now because it's already live. But I will definitely make sure I hit that for future ones. Thank you, Phil. You guys are so awesome. I'm looking at my pinning and look how off center I am. What am I doing? Let's fix this just a touch. We're gonna move him over here. I want the top to be in line with the line. I don't know why I was pinning way off to the side over there. Kathy said, wow, that's cool. I want that too. Sherry said, I would be interested in the digital club too. That's so great. You guys, the digital club is only $13 a month. It's the cheapest club offering that we have, and you get the pattern every month, which comes with a step-by-step video and then also an ebook. I know I've kind of run through a couple of ebooks with you guys and shown you on my iPad a few times, and I'll do that again as we're leading up towards the digital club opening if anybody's interested. But the ebooks are like full step-by-step, like pictures of every step. It's a good product. I mean, I'm proud of it. So you get that, and then also the video, any downloads like printable supply list or any kind of template that you might need for like ball marking. And then of course, you can join our OG Facebook group. And it is a cancel anytime. We don't hold anyone hostage. There's a cancel button in the website in your account, so you don't even have to there's no making it difficult, or you can just email us. I don't like it when I join something and I cannot cancel. It drives me crazy. So I don't do that. Tammy said, thank you both. Hope would be 25 in April this year. It was definitely hard, but we've survived, and I can honestly say that I always have hope with me. Tammy, that's beautiful. Deborah said, this is why I don't delete, or I think this is why I don't your Inspire emails. I think based on the rest of what you have here that you're meaning that you don't delete them. I have been archiving them, and then when I decide what I want to work on with my fabric, oh, that's a good idea. And then you can go back and reference it to see the ideas. But I did join Christmas Club, and I love that. I'm happy to hear that. Christy said, I got my 3 finished with half. Oops, it jumped on me. I'm so behind, guys. I'm gonna catch up now after I finish this. Okay, Christy said, I got my 3 finished with half a hand. You're doing good, and you're going faster than me. Next attempt is making ornaments, but since I can't cut fabric until the stitches come out, I'm gonna try using jelly rolls to make some Trinity knots. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Christy. I'm just using a gold bead on top of this. But I'm using a regular pin and not a gold pin because my gold pins are short and I have to get through all these layers. So we're just using a silver pin. Yeah, it's pretty cute. It's not the best ornament ever, but it's cute. Not my absolute favorite. I feel like we need to add a little bling to the ornament though, like, I don't know, some gold beads, I guess, because I don't really know what else. Either gold or like red crystals. Let me take a minute and catch up, and I'll let you guys tell me what you think. Which might not help me catch up very well, but that's okay. Gold beads or red sequins. The red sequins would have to go like here. They'd have to go on the corners on top of the green. Otherwise they won't stand out as much. Which is actually where I would put the gold too. Or gold. So red or gold. Whatever you guys vote, whatever wins is what I'm going to go with. Jeanette said, how's the regular club different from the Christmas club? That's a good question, Jeanette. So the regular club, both versions, VIP and the digital, is a brand new pattern every single month. Every month that we come out with either the kit or if you're in the digital, that pattern is a never seen before brand new pattern. The Christmas club is a kit every month. We don't have a digital version of that because in that club, we're going back and reusing patterns that already exist. The point of the Christmas club was that we had people that wanted more kits just because we don't have as many as we would like to have available all the time. And also people who wanted more Christmas, but not necessarily have to like relearn a whole new pattern every single month. So Christmas Club is like a way to do a kit every month, get all the fabrics and stuff, embellishments and everything pre-cut, pre-bagged, everything ready to go. With the Christmas theme, beautiful fabrics, all that stuff in a kit. So hopefully I had answered your question. Robin said, I like the idea of a jingle bell. Yeah, the jingle bell added something, I think. Christy said, Jeanette, the Christmas Club takes patterns from the regular club and just uses Christmas fabrics. Yep, it takes patterns from the regular club and from just like our classic library, which is ones that are available everywhere, like to the general public. So it's just like a hodgepodge of all of the existing patterns. We have been doing patterns since 2015. Well, I mean, it's been way more than that. We started the regular club in 2015, and so there's like hundreds of patterns. So the Christmas Club is a way to kind of go back and revisit them because otherwise they get lost, it seems like. So Deborah said, don't keeps typing somehow. So it just keeps popping up. I was excited to get the fabric. That's what I meant. Okay, thank you for clarifying, Deborah. I was trying really hard and I wasn't not getting it. Louise said, working on bows for St. Patty's Day using the Lucky Star pattern. I showed my girls and one of them said, oh, wow. Look at that box of Blarney. Tammy said, thanks, Peggy. Hope lived 5 days, but she is the baby who made me a mommy. Sorry for your loss as well. Sharon said, both. Both. Okay. Peggy said, Tammy, Rebecca would have been 45 this coming March. I also lost my youngest daughter, Emily, in 2008. You're right. You survive, but it never goes away. You just learn to live with it. That's true, Peggy. It doesn't ever go away. Robin said, I like the sound the jingle is making. Me too. Tammy said, Peggy, I think surviving is what made me learn patience. So many things that will teach you. I haven't lost a child. Thank God. I lost my husband, as many of you know. It's all, every situation is different, but it never does go away. It never does. Jeanette said, nothing like listening to you and getting a deluxe pedicure at the same time. Now that is some peaceful pinning, Jeanette. I need one of those. We need to do an OG meetup at the pedicure place. Becky said, Peggy and Tamra, sorry for your loss. I lost my youngest son 3 days before his 13th birthday. My goodness, you guys. I'm so sorry. Beth said, I'm definitely signing up for the digital club. Beth, I would love to see you in the digital club. I'm very excited to see you join. Excuse me, guys. Tammy said, I was a member of the digital club first. I loved it. I'm very excited that I got into the VIP club the last time that it opened, but I always highly recommend the digital. All of the OGs are awesome. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you for saying that. I agree with you. Our group is unparalleled. Peggy said, Tammy, you are so right. You look at life differently. Sherry said, is there a way to pause or skip one if you have purchased that pattern? So pause what? So in the digital club, you wouldn't have already purchased it because it will be a brand new pattern. Is that what you mean? In the digital club, it is brand new every single month when we come out with it. So you would not have been able to buy that pattern in the past because you would have already had it. If you're talking about for the Christmas club, then we don't have a pause option. You can just cancel if you want to and then rejoin at a later date if you want to. Because we plan ahead based on the membership numbers that we have, but also with the Christmas club, they're always a repeat of a pattern. So whether you have it or whether you don't, it's more about the kit, if that makes sense. Like what we're selling in that product is the kit itself. But definitely you can cancel at any time. Like I said a few minutes ago, we don't hold anyone hostage. Peggy said, Becky, you are in my prayers too. Beth said, add some bling. I know, right? I'm almost down to where you guys are going to be, I'll be reading your votes. Christina said, I got my brown box today. Eggs, hearts, and 8-line balls, and one of each color beads. Yay, Christina, you're going to be busy. Deborah said, maybe one of your colored snowflakes. Oh, that's an idea. I forgot about those. Do I have them up here? I know I had them before. Where'd they go? I'm always looking for a way to use those. You guys are so smart. Where are they? I don't think they're in here. I do have that cute little guy. But the snowflake is perfect because it has the colored rhinestones. This might have to go into another finishing Friday to completely finish it, you guys. Because I gotta find those charms. See, this is why when I have my magnet board all filled out, I'll be able to see everything really easily. And I see you said a little bit further down, Deborah, in the center for the snowflake. I need to find that. If I find that, we'll add this to next week's Finishing Friday just to add that on there, you guys. I know I have them up here somewhere. That was a good idea. Okay, we have Gretchen said red. First vote. Tammy said, Becky, it is definitely something I would not wish on my worst enemy. I'm sorry for your loss as well. Phil said, Christy, if I lived near you, I'd cut fabric for you. Aw. You guys are so sweet. Deborah said in the center for the snow. Oh, I read that one already. All right, we have red, red, red. The red. Brian said gold. Sharon said red. Phil said red. Nancy red. Christy said, Phil, thank you. Carol said the ugly duckling turned into a beautiful swan after all. It's struggling a little, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Phil said Christmas Club kits are the best ever. Thanks, Phil. We try to make them special. We try to go with the Christmas Club. We try to go over the top with embellishments and ribbon and make it special. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Robin said I like the red. Nancy said I ordered the fabric bundles that were posted today. Awesome, Nancy. Jean said red. Brian, I think you're losing the vote. Suzanne said, got my order today. I got the shamrocks. Thank you. Going to try to make my angel this weekend. I'm so glad, Suzanne. I'm glad they arrived. Deborah said, what is cool to me now that I'm in the Christmas Club, you have your secret supply store where you can get the patterns that are not necessarily in the classic patterns. Yes, it's the secret store. You can get past kits if they're still available, and you can get the past patterns from the club. Sherry said, yes, the digital club. Thank you. Yeah, so Sherry, thank you for clarifying that. So yeah, you will not have already had that pattern. So if you join the digital club, because every single one is new. So I appreciate you clarifying the question, and I'm glad I could answer it. Leslie said, I missed it all. Leslie, I'm so sorry. We're going to be ending here in a minute, but we got a couple minutes left. I'm going to add some red sequins here. Christina said, I missed your ribbon, Caddy. Here it is. Did I switch cameras? Sorry. Let me look. Yep, I did. Here it is. Pretty nice, right? And it's double-sided. So the only one that I'm not using is this here because I put a row of my big rolls on the bottom. But I made sure I put them all on the same row so that I only lost one other row here. The only downside is you can see when you do a whole bunch of ribboning like I did today, now I have to go back and roll them all up after the live. But you know what? That is a very, very small price to pay. Tony said, I need to go. I type so slow. Ladies, I'm so sorry for your loss. Hugs. Have a good night, Tony. Leslie said, what did you make today? Today we finished some stuff. I'm on the last one, but I finished our Hope ornament. We finished this galaxy. We finished Victoria. And I finished this rapid wrap from a couple of weeks ago. Becky said, Stacy, how much are the other clubs? How much are the other clubs? I think the Christmas Club now is $35 a month. And that includes shipping. VIP, I believe, also was $35 the last time that we opened it. I think. It's been a little bit since we opened that, so I can't remember exactly. My phone is ringing. Sharon said, so sorry for you that lost a child. That is so hard to take. Losing any loved one is hard, but a child is really hard to take. So sorry to you all. I agree, Sharon. I can't imagine anything worse. Oh, you guys, I need to be using red pens. red pins for these guys. Red pins, gold pins. You can tell that we're getting to the end here because my brain starts blipping. Christy said, Leslie, it's finishing Friday, so all Stacy does is add bling and ribbons to the UFOs, which are unfinished ornaments. Yes, Christy had that idea weeks ago. It's a great idea. A really good way. Oh, it's my daughter. She's calling twice now, so let me just let her know that. Hi, I'm on a live.
Oh, we're going to get a drill.
Okay. The drill is on the kitchen counter.
Thanks so much. I'll start.
Oh, that's okay. Bye. Sorry, guys. Let me back up. Zora had said red. Jenny said, hi everyone, coming in very late. Pretty ornament. Thanks, Jenny. We'd mostly just finished ornaments today, which I guess you probably just heard us talking about that because I'm behind in comments. This was one that we had done a couple of weeks ago. Christina said, nice, thank you. Jenny said, your ribbon caddy is amazing. Thank you. Tammy said, my order made it from Indianapolis Wednesday. Oh, good. My husband's order, the red and the black basic stars, came yesterday, so it did not go wandering, thankfully. And yeah, it's mine too. I'm so glad. I'm glad that other one finally made it. Was it worse for the wear by the time that it arrived, doing all that traveling? Jenny said, all the ornaments are beautiful. Thank you, Jenny. Yeah, it's been nice being able to get through some of these that have been sitting around for these finishing Fridays, because otherwise they would just keep piling up. I'm going to leave the center blank, you guys, and we'll save that for the next finishing Friday because I like the idea of putting that snowflake in the middle. I just have to find them. And I'll probably just finish the red pins at that time too, the red beads. I appreciate all the feedback about what you guys like on these. It really helps me a lot. Kat said, I think that 3 red crystals upon each regular fold, 1 on the point and 1 on the print point and 1 in the middle. Like, so 3... I'm trying to make sure I understand what you're saying. 3 red crystals upon each regular fold. So like all the layers basically is what you're saying, and then 1 in the middle? Am I understanding that correctly, Kat? Christina said, so last year I bought so much dang ribbon, I had no good way to store it. So I found a build pattern on Etsy for a ribbon wall. I gave the pattern to my hubby and he was able to build me one. Christina, that sounds amazing. I would love to see that. Tammy said, my VIP is showing 35. Okay, awesome. So I guessed correctly. Tammy, thank you for that. Christina said he used software at work and equipment, was able to die cut everything out and all the dowel holes precisely drilled, brought home and painted. It's slap full. That sounds really cool. Christy said Digital Club is 17. Digital Club is 13. Becky said, and what is the difference between all the clubs? So, okay, so we have the regular club and we have the Christmas club. The regular club, I just call it the regular club, original club, whatever, but that was the first one. It has 2 tiers. It has the digital, which is patterns only, and then it has a VIP tier, which is where you get the kit too. So you get the pattern and the kit. That one, the VIP, I rarely open because it's a lot harder to run. It's a lot harder to maintain, make kits for, and all of that. So then we started the Christmas Club, which is a kit every month. We don't have a digital version of that, and it's not a new pattern every month. We reuse old patterns like what we were saying before, but you do get a kit, and you get a video tutorial too, which shows you how to put the kit together. So hopefully that answers the question. Tammy said, hi, Abby. Brian said, losing a child is one of the most difficult things to go through in life. My sympathy to those of you who have lost a child. Debbie said the Scrappy ornament is really pretty. Love the red crystal on the ornament. I do too. It's pretty. It's a shiny bright, kind of like last night's. Debbie said this. I read that one. Brian said the red sequins really stand out. Tammy said my package was fine. No dents or scrapes. I guess it just wanted to see Indiana first. It took the scenic route for sure. I'm glad it made it. I was hoping it would. I was hoping you would keep me updated on that in case it didn't get there, but I'm glad it did. Marge said to all the ladies that have lost children, I'm so sorry for your loss. Hugs to all of you. Deborah said, yay. Kat said, no, just the top 4 basic triangles with 3 gems down each seam. Oh, down the seam of the fold. But I like what you did. Turned out gorgeous. I got you, Kat. Okay. I am sorry that I did not understand what you were saying at first. Christina said, Indiana is a great state. I'm from there. Kat said, the top 4 of the green basic triangles is what I meant. So going down like the seam of the green triangles. You know, if these were smaller, that would probably work. And it may still. But it'll be a lot. I'll try it on one just to see. So are you talking something like this? You guys, I still had a couple more to do, but I know we ran kind of late. So let me even this out just a touch. We're going to save the rest of him for next week. And then I had a couple other ones sitting here that I was going to do with you guys. These. So we'll finish those also next week. And then I had this random Ohio star, which I don't even remember when I made this. It was like a million years ago. So we'll finish that in the future too. Okay, Kat said, yep. Christina said prayers for all of those who have lost kiddos too. My husband lost his oldest son at 16. Oh my goodness, Christina. It's rough for sure. I'm so sorry. That is very tough. Tammy said, Christina, Indiana is just fine, but not when I'm waiting in Ohio, right? You guys, I hope that you have an awesome, not just rest of your night, but the rest of the weekend. I will see you on Monday. I'm thinking we'll do Sleepy Fox. Let me show you really quick for a reminder. We did the nesting dolls yesterday, and I moved that ornament off to the side. So, but this is the one we're going to do. Probably a fancy frame with this guy on Monday. So I hope I'll see you on Monday. I hope you guys have a very wonderful weekend. And maybe make some ornaments. And tell me about them on Monday. Thanks, you guys. I hope you have an awesome rest of your night and weekend. Happy ornamenting, guys.